Carnival versus Royal Caribbean. I would basically say both lines really specialize in offering, fun, active cruises, right? Royal Caribbean is really great for people who want to have a lot of I can't believe they put that on the cruise ship. Activities, skydiving, surface simulators, bungee trampolines, rock climbing walls, live entertainment, Broadway shows. That's Royal Caribbean in a nutshell. I think you all know that. Carnival, and again, this is a generalization, tends to be more of a come as you are atmosphere that focuses on celebrations, parties, and games. It can also be a very good value, especially cruising out of some markets that Royal Caribbean doesn't go out of, like Mobile, Alabama, or Jacksonville, Florida, right? And there's also their food. Their complimentary food game is really good. So you're going to find a good variety of options there to eat on board. And typically you find Carnival ships that are priced a little bit lower than Royal Caribbean. But, with the new Carnival Mardi Gras and the new Excel class coming out, it's not the same. It's not the fantasy class purple carpet Carnival that we've all known for a while, whether it's the Vista class or the Excel class. They're like most cruise lines, they're pretty much more similar than they are different, especially the mass market cruise lines, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, MSC, and Disney, right? I mean, they're more similar than not. But you're going to find, again, some of the, I think that come as you are atmosphere, let's have a party, the fun ship atmosphere that Carnival promotes is really the, probably one of the more noticeable differences about Carnival versus Royal Caribbean. Are the drink packages worth it? They absolutely can be. I mean, drink packages will save you money if you can drink enough every day to make it worthwhile. Usually when we talk about the drink package, we're probably talking about the unlimited alcohol package, the deluxe beverage package, and you're talking about it includes many other things other than alcohol, but for easy math, we're going to go for this. We'll talk just alcohol, 6 to 8 cocktails a day, depending on how much your drink package is and whatnot. The longer the cruise, the harder that is to make work over the long haul. But I've definitely gotten my money's worth out of many drink packages. 150 Central Park versus Chops. Oh, I'd pick 150 Central Park any day of the week. I think it's got a little more variety in the menu that to me appeals primarily to me, and maybe not so much to you, but I think overall I prefer it better. What's the current mask policy? Well, today, if you're fully vaccinated, everybody has to wear a mask inside the ship, indoors. Outdoors, you don't need to wear a mask. You don't have to wear a mask in your stateroom. You don't have to wear a mask if you're in a fully vaccinated area, and if you're actively eating or drinking while seated. February 25th, Sue, that will change, and fully vaccinated guests will not have to wear masks indoors. They'll be optional, with the exception of Adventure Ocean and when you're in the cruise terminal, because that's outside the cruise ship, obviously. But that'll be changing February 25th, Sue. And as I mentioned to Terry a little while ago, we don't have the full details yet what the new masking rules are going to be. Royal Caribbean is still working through them, and it may come in at the last minute. And February 24th or something like that. But when we have them, I'll post it at royalcaribbeanblog.com. Is Royal Caribbean going to be taking away the pre-cruise testing? I don't believe so. There's no reason to believe they're going to. Something could change, but I don't believe they will. Best case, I would say in the short term, Sylvie, is that you might get an extra day to do a test instead of 2, maybe 3 days. But these protocols are not going away anytime soon. I don't care what happens on land. The cruise industry, it's a double standard the cruise industry is held to by the government. The CDC regulates the cruise industry. Walmart is not regulated by the CDC. And that's the primary reason why, among other things. But also, don't forget, these protocols have been working. This is the reason why the cruise lines have been so successful. Not with 1 or 2 protocols, but multi-layer, different approaches. There's no silver bullet, but together they create this mesh of safety that really has proven to be effective, especially when you look at what's been happening on land. So, they're not going to just ditch everything that's been working for them at the first sight, whether they have the choice or not. That's a whole nother story. So, do you think Izumi Hibachi and or Wonderland will have enough options for vegetarian? Absolutely. Yeah, I've dined at both locations with both vegetarians and vegans. They have found lots to enjoy. I can especially vouch for if you're a vegetarian. There's plenty at both Hibachi and Wonderland. It is vegetables galore. Obviously, if you eat fish or if you're a pescatarian, that would help a lot. But they can definitely work with you. I would highly recommend it. Absolutely. Is the Coco Beach Club worth it at any price? I don't know that any price. I've often said I feel like the magic number is $100. Anything below $100 per person per day would be absolutely worthwhile. I have seen the prices have been going up quite a bit. In fact, some of my cruises coming up, I'm seeing the prices for like $188 a person, which is a lot of money. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. That is, their Royal Caribbean obviously sees they've got a hot commodity on their hands, and they're trying to see, will people pay this price? Now I've done it before, and I don't know that I'd pay $188, but per person. But if you've never done it before, Quentin, it's your vacation, dude. It is a cool place to go, and the lunch that's included there is fantastic. I love the infinity pool. It's a beautiful beach, but you shouldn't feel like you need to go there. Otherwise, you're going to be in a sea of humanity. Coco Key is really good at spreading people out. So that's not going to be an issue. It's not going to be an issue getting a chair or something like that. It's more of this: how much do you value being in a upgraded, enhanced offering? What do you define smart casual for dress code? Yeah, I would do dark jeans and a polo. It really is a meaningless name. It's like something that yeah, that's totally fine. You will not be out of place. If you wanted to go dark jeans and a collared shirt instead of a polo shirt, but I think you would not be out of place wearing that over there. Bought the unlimited dining package. Please give advice on how to tip to restaurants with unlimited dining. Want to be gracious. Your dining package does include gratuity, but I would say, $5 or $10 a person. If you want to be gracious, you could do that on top of it. You'll get the receipt, and that'd be certainly gracious there. I mean, your gratuity is part of it, so don't feel like you're stiffing anybody if you zero out that bill. But if you wanted to be gracious, my definition of gracious is you want to go a little above and beyond. Then I would say, $5 or $10 a head might be a nice way to do that. Please explain the key. Sure. So the key is a VIP access program where you can pay Royal Caribbean to get certain perks and benefits that would not otherwise be available to you. Earlier check-in at the terminal, reserved times at certain activities on board the ship, a welcome aboard lunch, complimentary internet, some other things as well. There's a whole list of benefits you can see at royalcaribbeanblog.com. It sounds really cool, but in my opinion, it's just not worth it. I think a lot of the benefits of the key can be attained on your own or simply purchased. And the ones that are there that you can't get on your own sound better than they really are in practice. I've done a couple of videos on it on our channel here about the key. Just don't think it's worthwhile. Do you know why they're not having a Broadway show on Wonder? I do not. Royal Caribbean hasn't said why. I suspect strongly it has to do with the fact they've lost billions of dollars over the last 2 years, and money's a little tight right now. And a Broadway show costs money, whereas an in-house production does not, or it costs less money, I should say. So that's the direction they go in. I could be dead wrong on that. I have no idea. But they haven't said one way or another. Is there a list of when ships will go to dry dock or when they'll become amplified? No. So the Royal Amplified program is on hold officially until further notice, which basically means they're not doing it until whenever they decide they have money for it again. Beyond that, every 5 years at least, cruise ships go into dry dock for refurbishments. But there's a difference between dry dock, like of a refurbishment, and then there's amplification, right? As an example, Serenade of the Seas is about to go into a dry dock for refurbishment. I believe either this month or next month. And but that's just under the hood work. It's like bringing your car in for an oil change or tune-up. Nothing changes on the ship. Just everything gets a little fresher and new and repaired and whatnot. So, can I get tested at the pier in Miami? There is an option. Royal Caribbean does give you it's a backup option. It's not your primary option. So, Kevin, do yourself a favor. Get I don't know if you're from the United States, get the at-home test. Go to emed.com, order some tests right now. You're good to go. That's the way to go about it. But Royal Caribbean provides limited testing. So at the terminal, if you were not available, but you need to book that 24 hours before you arrive. So there is options there, but again, it's meant as a backup, not a primary there. So you should still be trying to work on your own to get one there. How do I find a travel agent? Word of mouth. People saying, "Oh, I use so and so, they're good." So as I'll give you a real world example. I personally use and recommend MEI Travel. Full disclosure, Joe, they are a sponsor of RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, but I was using them even before they were ever a sponsor, and I love them. So MEI Travel. If you go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, Joe, there's a giant yellow form. Fill that out. They'll contact you. But really, word of mouth is the best way to go about it, because then you can vouch for somebody on that. Is there any reason why non-Oasis Quantum Club ships have suite class with little perks versus they don't have little perks. They just don't have as good perks as the ones. It's basically because on the Oasis Quantum Club ships, those ships are large enough to deliver that experience. Basically, Royal Caribbean says this is the the Royal Suite class experience we have, and they set it up for the Oasis, the Quantum class ships. But if you go down to a Freedom Voyager or Radiance class ship or a Vision class ship, there just isn't enough space to match that. So they don't want people who's like, "Oh, Cole, you're going on, Explorer of the Seas. Great. You're going to have the Royal Suite class." It's not the same thing as a Oasis class. So they can't deliver on that. They're not going to call it that. That's essentially why. It's pre-cruise. What do you need on the app and the website? You need primarily just the app to be able to do the check-in process. That's it. So download, the Royal Caribbean app, log into your account, find your cruise, check in at the appropriate time, and then basically the 24 hours before the cruise, you can start completing the safety drill process, and then that's basically it. That's all. And then of course you could use it to, do the arrival at the cruise terminal. But once you're on board the ship, you're good to go. Why do you have to be tested? Well, don't forget the cruise lines. They're trying to prevent COVID on the cruise. That's what they're trying to do, obviously. And there isn't a silver bullet. There isn't one thing that limits COVID spread, right? But when you combine testing with mask wearing, with vaccine requirements, with pre-cruise testing, and there's something else like contact tracing, all those things together, it creates a very much safe event. It's effective. You can see that in the proof is in the numbers there, in the low amount of cases. So yeah, it stinks, but it's really not a big deal. I say get the at-home test, the Abbott's test. It's so easy. It takes 15 minutes. It's very convenient. You don't have to leave your house or work or wherever you are. It's really not a big deal at all. I would recommend that. If you do it that way, you will find it much more enjoyable. Do you know why when Allure moves to Galveston, they only have one itinerary? Because Royal Caribbean's only ever had one itinerary, primarily from Galveston. A couple of issues at Crowbar. Number one, it's an Oasis class ship, so not all ports can handle it. So like Grand Cayman, even if it was open, can't handle. They don't do tendering with an Oasis class ship. Number two, logistics. There's a reason why Cozumel, Roatan, and Costa Maya are picked, because they're close enough to Galveston. You can do that in a 7-night cruise. Their ports are big enough to handle an Oasis class ship. And yeah, that's basically it. So it comes down to logistics and of course limitations of the Oasis class, and that's kind of what it boils down to. So don't forget, we are live every Monday right here on YouTube, hanging out, talking with all of you. So come join us here next Monday. Talk more Royal Caribbean. If you want to post your question that we didn't get answered over on our message boards at RoyalCaribbeanblog.com, you can do that, and make sure you get your questions answered over there. Until then, guys, have a great week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun, and we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.